Hi Mary, it's great to meet you and to hear a bit about your work in relation to free school meals. Could you tell me first of all why this is something that we as church and school communities should really care about?
Sure. Hi, Bishop Joanne. It's lovely to meet you as well. I would say for me personally, I believe just as a Christian that it's important that we care for ourselves and we care for our neighbors in a way that will support each other as a community. And I just believe that each child should be able to have access to a hot meal. In the same way, we would like to ensure that we have meals so that we can work and engage with our communities. Children should also have access to a hot meal so that they can work and engage with their friends and be able to play and not have to think about where provision comes from. And so I believe it's important just for that reason and that they are able to eat and be provided for.
I imagine that's really difficult. Think how hard it is to learn at school anyway without having to do that on an empty stomach and without having a hot meal each day. That would just be incredibly difficult. And I understand that quite a lot has changed recently and that part of your work is about making sure people are aware of that and then taking that forward into the future. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So it's important that families are aware that this provision is available to them for the entirety of the child's term at school. So not just the 1 year that they are not just the 1 year that they're currently in, but for the entirety of their which is good news that the Mayor of London has now made free school meals available to all children for 1 year. But it's especially important that with the permanent extension, they are aware that schools are aware that families can have access to this, not just for the 1 year, but even beyond that. And so I think that's the most important thing that families ought to be aware of, and just also to reassure them that that the information won't be sent to the Home Office, especially migrant families who might be cautious around this issue. It will be a good opportunity for schools to build relationship with families, and yeah, just also assure them that they can have that provision for the duration of the children's primary schooling career.
And what can we do as church and school communities to support this, to help develop it, to get the message out, to all of that helps people in communities know it's there? What can we do?
I think ultimately is ensuring that schools and families are aware that this is a legitimate extension and there is information on the government website. But ultimately, I think the most important thing is that especially undocumented families can access this, that they are aware that the information won't be shared to the Home Office, and that the schools are encouraged to keep this confidential and that they can record the number of people who make applications and names, but that won't be shared to others who might potentially compromise their status or their stay in the country.
So we can give reassurance and we can get the message out and we can tell people that it's okay to, make sure that your kids have got hot meals and that they're really well fed and that this is part of their education and it's part of the hospitality of our country, and that really matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.